as officials are investigating the deaths of 2 more inmates at the High Desert State Prison. We're looking at the pay of those correction officers and if that's feeding into what we're seeing. Rachel O'Brien from OpenTheBooks.com joins us live to hash it out. And Rachel, we might as well start with the Ely State Prison. We did reporting on this extensively when it happened. They were moving prisoners out of that, going to the High State Prison in Indian Springs. And there were security concerns back then when they were making that move. Now you're reporting out we've had 6 deaths at that High Desert Prison ever since?
Yeah, that's right. So we now had 2 last week. The station reported that they died 1 day apart, these 2 inmates. Neither the county coroner's office nor the Nevada Department of Corrections has released the cause of either of those deaths. But another man died in a fatal stabbing January 5th. In November, another man, again, was stabbed to death. So 6 inmates so far at High Desert. This is since the Department of Corrections transferred inmates from Ely State Prison. That was the state's highest security facility, and they struggled with gang activity and violence, and they sent those inmates to High Desert from Ely State. So, you know, this station reported that there were safety and security concerns. The union representative for the correction officers at High Desert said that that facility was not ready to take in these maximum security prisoners from Ely Prison. And so now we've seen 6 deaths so far.
So let's talk about how much these corrections officers make and then those who end up being kind of like the executive of these prisons. It doesn't sound like these guys make a whole lot.
No, it doesn't, especially when you look at people, you know, public employees making a lot more. So we don't have the 2024 pay yet, but the 23 payroll shows that the state level executives aren't making that much. So the director of the corrections director for the state, he made $141,000. 2 deputy directors made up to $120,000. So at High Desert Prison, the warden there, who's in charge, he made $107,000. Assistant wardens made between $95,000 and $127,000. So they're not making much more than the actual correctional officers. About a third of the people there made $100,000, but that was with overtime. That was not just with base pay. So these are state employees. They're working in Clark County. Let's compare them to the Clark County employees. About a quarter of employees in Clark County made $100,000 or more. So in base pay. And so they're actually making more at the Clark County level, you know, whether you're working for sort of parks or transportation or something that's far less risky. You know, these people in the prison, they're not making a whole lot of money.
Well, yeah, and it's a great compare-contrast. Let's say an office job versus somebody who is in a dangerous position and only making the amount they're making because of all the overtime, so they're probably exhausted on top of it. Enlightening. Thank you, Rachel. Appreciate your time and talent, and we will see you again next week.